When we retain great people, we protect the investments we've already made. So while I truly applaud HR's success in recruitment, I also encourage you as a board and as a district to commit to retention strategies, mentoring, professional growth, meaningful recognition, and building a culture where people want to stay. Let's keep bringing in strong team members, and just as importantly, let's make sure they stay, grow, and thrive for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll move to our first agenda item, which is a staffing update from Mrs. Tara Mossman.
So tonight I'm going to share with you an overview of recruitment strategies that have taken place over the summer. So the HR department held 3 summer job fairs. They were support staff job fairs. We had the support staff job fair, Touch a Truck, and a county-wide support staff job fair. 2 of these job fairs were a first-time trial job fair for us, and they were very successful. So the first support staff job fair, there were 11 individuals that attended the event. All 11 were interviewed, and out of the 11 individuals, we hired a security guard, a bus aide, and 2 nutritional service employees. We had our Touch a Truck event. So this was the first time that the district has hosted a Touch a Truck event. There were 13 individuals that visited the recruitment tent. All 13 were interviewed, and out of the 13 individuals interviewed, we hired 3 PTAs, 2 nutritional service workers, and 1 lunch aide/recess monitor. I just want to share that the number 13, those individuals visited the recruitment tent, but we had a lot more families from the community that came and visited the Touch a Truck event. So I want to say thank you to everyone in the community that participated and all of our administrators that were there that helped through the interview process. Here's a list of some of the businesses that participated in the Touch a Truck event. Another first for the district was our countywide support staff job fair. We had 26 individuals attend the job fair. 17 individuals were interviewed by our district. Out of those 17 individuals interviewed, we hired 3 PCAs/TAs, 2 nutritional service workers, 2 bus drivers that are being training, 1 substitute custodian. Some of the districts that participated: Quakertown School District, New Hope Solebury School District, the Bucks County IU, Council Rock School District, and Centennial School District. So throughout this summer, we had 64 new employees start their career in the Penridge School District. We had 3 administrators, 1 security guard, 8 nutritional service workers. We had a playground aide. We had 28 teachers, 8 TAs and PCAs, 3 clerks, 4 custodians, a bus aide, bus driver that already has their CDL, and 6 bus drivers that need CDL training. So in transportation, we have 11 potential drivers right now. 3 of those individuals started their classes, their CDL classes will start on September 13th. 2 individuals are completing their second day of training, so they will obtain their permits and then they will move to complete that behind the wheel training. We have 6 individuals that are currently in the behind the wheel training. We have 2 anticipated December retirements. So the question is, what are the needs in transportation? So currently we have 11 potential drivers that are in training. We have 1 open jumper position, but the next item on our agenda is going to be a request to the board for 3 additional jumper positions. So if those jumper positions are approved, that would have us with 4 open jumper positions. We still have 13 students that are transported by the Bucks County IU, and that would be 10 routes that we would need to bring back into our district. So that leaves us with the need being 3 additional drivers in the department. With that being said, we know that we have 2 retirements coming in December, so that would take the need to 5 additional drivers. Again, with that being said, there's always someone leaving and someone coming in the door when we look at transportation. But right now, from our lens, we would need to hire 5 additional drivers, as long as the 11 that are in the pipeline as potential drivers right now make it all the way through the CDL program and become bus drivers.
Does that mean when sporting issues are solved, bring all routes back in-house? So that's like a fully functioning, this is where we want to be.
So we would need additional substitute drivers to continue to support those athletic runs, but I do anticipate that we're moving in the right direction with the athletic runs, and things should become better this year. And the 10 routes would be bringing those final 13 students back from the IU that they're transporting right now.
Jumper positions?
The 5 additional would include the
Includes
hiring
that.
of the 3 jumpers, because we have
Okay.
11 potential drivers right now
Okay,
that are in there, somewhere in their training process. They're in one of those steps.
okay.
Do you know about how many we had, how many the IU was transporting? As I know we brought that down, there was a large number at some point.
39.
We were down from 39 to 13.
Yeah.
That's a lot of progress.
We made progress for sure.
We made
yeah.
a lot of progress. 32
I'm sorry,
students.
32 students. We brought 19 back.
And we still have 13 more to bring back.
Sounds like you're making a lot of progress. That's
Yeah.
great. I know it's
Mrs. Krause
obviously
is-
been an issue
Mrs.
for.
Krause is making a lot of progress.
Yeah.
in her- in her
Can you
team.
explain the jumper idea and you're going to do that next second?
I'm going to do that in the next section, yeah. Okay, so any questions on the staffing update?
Nothing more from me. The transportation request for 3 jumper positions.
So tonight, we are bringing to the board a request for 3 additional jumper positions. So jumpers are guaranteed 6 hours of work per day per the collective bargaining agreement. Our jumpers currently provide coverage for absences, field trips, overflow needs in the department. They provide additional resources for home to school runs and athletic runs, as well as it lessens the burden on our mechanics and clerical staff, keeping them in their assigned work areas. So the financial impact for the district of adding 3 additional jumper positions. You will see that each additional jumper position would cost the district around $47,000. So the ask would be around $140,372 to the district. This does include medical benefits, PSERS, and FICA. So a breakdown of the current overtime spending. So when you look at the 2024-2025 drivers overtime, the district spent $57,924. During the 24-25 school year, all additional transportation employees overtime was around $105,000. So the total overtime just in transportation alone was $163,000. So some of those additional employees that provided, that had overtime for the transportation department would be secretaries, routers, mechanics, the assistant director and director, all drive routes when needed. In 24-25, the district contracted through the IU, and we spent around $1 million. So when you look at the cost of the jumper positions and the possibility for savings to the district, for 3 jumper positions, again, it would be around $141,372. If we can save 25% of our overtime, we will save the district $40,755. If we can save 50% of our overtime by having these jumpers drive some of our routes, we will save around $81,510. We had an estimated savings this year, bringing back some of our students from the IU for transportation. We saved around $611,532. And then as those additional drivers become available, we will bring more students back from the IU and transport them in our district. Does anyone have questions? Sure. So the jumpers could be used if we bring routes back. Those jumpers typically fill in for daily absences. But if if we have open routes, we could hire that employee into an open route. We would just have then a jumper position. So we would need to make that determination.
And with the 3 jumpers, do we think it's likely that we would save 50% of overtime? I guess, I mean, if they're out, somebody's got to cover, but do we think that's likely?
So depending on the absences in the department, and depending on the needs of the jumpers, and the routes that need to be filled, I think that we could save 50%
Yeah.
Of our overtime. I think it just depends on the number of absences
Right.
in each year.
Right. Okay.
And the need for those jumpers to fill in on those routes.
Okay.
I know the one issue is the mechanics drive a lot, and then they
Yeah.
don't get their work done either. And so you pay them overtime when they come back or whatever. And I'm sure their salaries are different, things like that. I think it's an interesting idea since we've been struggling for so long.
Yeah.
But, you need 3 or 2? Why did you pick 3, I guess?
Go ahead.
We picked 3 through our discussions with Jessica, and based on the size of our staff and the ratio of how many jumpers to staff members, that's where we came up with the 7, because we have over 70 drivers. So that's where we came up with the 7, and you're correct that having those folks are just additional resources that are there all day long, that are available to do runs at a moment's notice, and they will allow those folks to stay in their jobs, the clerical staff, the mechanics. I'm not saying that those folks will never have to drive again, but this helps take that workload away from those folks, keep them in their positions, and have drivers to do the driving. And we believe it will help with the afternoon sports, just because we will have more people available and on site to do the run. So it's just having enough resources available to go all the different directions that we need to go in, and so forth. So yeah, that's how we came up with the number. It's roughly, we have 70 drivers and 7 jumpers was the recommendation.
7, so you have 4 right now, or you're gonna?
We have 4 now.
Okay.
We have 4 positions now. This is adding 3 more.
Okay, for
Yeah.
7.
Yeah. We're just, right now, we're down 1. We just lost a jumper who left.
And you think you'll be able to fill the jumper ones easier than the regular positions?
I anticipate these positions will have to go up for a bid, and some of our internal drivers might request or place the bid on that jumping route, but then we would have to move to hire more drivers for our
So it's
regular routes.
not a quick fix. Really.
Not a quick
But
fix, but
it's
it's part of
seem-
the multi-pronged solution.
Yeah, I
To
agree.
get more resources there every day to drive kids.
Well, I especially like the fact that we save a lot of money. We need to factor that in. If you can knock off another, it's $1 million we're spending, that we can do for a lot less if we can find somebody. So that should help pay for it.
Good. All right. Next up is maintenance stipends.
collective bargaining agreement. Employees who work in the facility maintenance department, as well as our mechanics, that have a certification are allocated specific monies based on their certification. So the document that we're sharing with you is the stipend amount that would go to our employees that are currently working in our facility maintenance department or our mechanics. And on this document, you can see the description of the certifications that are listed there and the stipend amount that they would receive. And this is for the 24-25 school year. So we pay this stipend at the completion of the school year.
Okay.
And the amount of money listed there is in the contract. That $6,804 is specifically in the contract for this.
Okay.
That's how we came up with that.
I have a question. Sure. Just, I don't really get the staff count and the multiplier. What is that? You see there's 8 total units. What is the multiplier mean? Sorry, no.
Mr. Burnwell, I'm going to ask if you can talk about how you allocated the funds to the different employees within
So,
the group.
yeah, this was something that, when I jumped into it, my understanding of it is the multiplier is based on the accreditations that the employees hold. So if they hold more than one qualifying accreditation, that's what increases the multiplier. So if somebody has a state vehicle inspection license, but then they also hold a refrigeration recovery, that would qualify them for more than one multiplier, giving them a higher stipend.
So all 4, for example, the state vehicle inspection license, the 4 staff all have 2 multipliers. All of them
Correct.
do. And the other ones all just have 1. Is that what
Yeah,
that?
yeah, they have whatever corresponding unit goes with their licensure that they hold.
Okay.
So that means that the state vehicle inspection license is worth twice as much as a other license. Is that what it means by multipliers? It doesn't mean, well, it seems to me that you're paying, that would be twice as much as you would for a refrigeration recovery certification. Doesn't that make sense? Is that what I was saying
Is that
there?
the staff, is it that the staff that's doing that has more than one license? Is that why, for example,
So it
those
would be,
4?
so, I mean, in these licenses, they have whatever one that they hold is their multiplier. So with the state inspection license, there's 4 of them that have it, but each of them have the 2-time multiplier.
Doesn't that mean they get twice as much of the stipend?
Yeah. Correct.
So you're valuing the different licenses differently?
Mhm. Yeah, some
Which
of
is
them
fine.
get more than the others.
Okay.
And do these stipends, like, just looking at like building operator certification, is this something that they get every year, or is this like a one-time, do they have to like update their certification every year to qualify for the stipend?
There's continuing ed they have to attain to continue getting it.
So I mean, like, looking at journeyman plumber license, so if they maintain their license, they get that stipend every year, but if they dropped it,
If they weren't to maintain it, and based on their position, some of them in order to have their position, they have to maintain the license.
Are the multipliers set in the contract too, or is that something?
No, the amount that's set in the contract is the $6,804. And then the facility department, in the past, has set up the charts based on
Yeah.
the certifications each year, and then we receive that information.
And you do that, Greg? Is that that's your responsibility to do
For tracking all of
that? Yeah, and then, okay.
So, Tara, is this an item that we have to vote on?
Yes, this
Okay.
will be on the board agenda for approval.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, our final agenda item tonight is leave tracking software.
So tonight I have Nicole Foster with me. Nicole is our benefits specialist in the HR department, and we are going to talk to you about a leave of absence tracking module software that we are requesting to bring the contract to the board for a vote on September the 29th. So the leave of absence tracking module is a web-based program. There's no software that needs to be installed. It will have an employee portal and an employer portal. So the employee portal will allow our employees to no longer have to complete paper documents when they request a leave of absence. It will all be electronic. The employer side will allow us to streamline the process. So we will have automated tasks set up through that process. We will have email notifications that will go out to our employees automatically with templates that the district will put together.
So currently, as Tara mentioned, the leave of absence, they're all tracked manually. So it consists of a paper packet, which the employees will contact me via phone or email, or they might happen upon it on the HR website themselves. But it is a very lengthy packet that they have to complete, and it is fairly time-consuming for myself as well as the employee. Once I do receive this information, I then start a tracking sheet of my own, which is kept within the HR department, again, paper. And this allows me to track when the board will receive the request for the leave, if they're eligible for FMLA or not. I track their sick time and personal time usage on here. If babies are born, when they need to get clearance from their doctor to return is tracked on here, as well as their home billing for their health insurance. It's all tracked manually. This document is then scanned back and forth between myself and the business department for payroll purposes. Again, all done through paper. So with the manual tracking, there's limited ability for us to generate reports for staffing purposes, for budgeting, for auditing purposes. We have an Excel spreadsheet that is managed within our department, and that is what we use currently for ACA reporting every year. As far as step and column movement, it's also generated from that Excel spreadsheet. Seniority and intermittent FMLA is tracked on that Excel spreadsheet, but also on this paper. So some historical data for you. During the 22-23 school year, we had 77 total leaves that we processed. 23-24, there were 76 total leaves. Last year, we had 81 total leaves, and currently, thus far this year, we have 33 active leaves, and 16 requests for future leaves. So to highlight some of the key features, it is a centralized system that allows us to manage all types of leaves, whether it's FMLA, child rearing, medical leave, sabbatical. It is a secure self-service portal for the employees to go into, and as Tara mentioned, they request their leaves electronically, and they're able to submit their documentation through the portal as well. It allows us to automate email notifications to them regarding their eligibility for FMLA, deadlines, and return to work requirements. And it also has an integrated reporting system, which allows us to track pending leaves and usage trends as far as forecasting staffing needs as well. And the system also has the ability for us to customize emails and reports to better suit what we need it to do.
So the cost for the leave tracking module, there's a one-time implementation fee of $750. The cost per year is based on active employees. So it's on the honor system. We let them know how many employees we have active, and that's how they determine what our costs will be each year. It's a 3-year contract. The annual billing takes place in January. Because we already have a program through IU13, which is the Act 168 program that we put in place last year. The cost for Act 168 is $5 per applicant. That would go down to $450 per applicant. And the cost for the leave tracking module would be $2 per employee, but it will go down to $175 per employee because we would bundle both systems. So for the 25-26 school year, the implementation cost would be total $2,587. Moving forward after the 25-26 school year, based on the estimated number of employees that we currently have, it would be $1,837.50. Implementation time period. So if the board approves this contract at the September board meeting, in October, we would have the system set up and HR training. In November, we would have the implementation and pilot testing with specific selected leave requests. And then in December, we would have a full district launch with communication out to all of our employees. Any questions? And this is budgeted for in our department currently.
How do you, so if it's a separate system, do you have to, at some point, port those records over into like a master personnel file for employees that go on leave?
So they would request a census file from us, so they
Okay.
know who to load in the employee portal side. So
Okay.
that they can just go in and request
Okay.
leaves.
Okay. And then when somebody does go out on leave, does the information just reside in that system, or do we keep it anywhere else after the fact?
It would reside in the system. We have the ability to print that out and put that paperwork into the employees' medical files. So right now, we have paper medical files for all of our employees. Hopefully in the future, we will be able to have electronic medical files that we would
Okay.
be able to then pull that over. We're just not at that point yet.
Sure, okay.
I didn't understand the $4 to, could you pull that slide up again? Because you're getting charged just $1.75 for the leave tracker.
$1.75 per employee
per
for the
employee.
leave tracker. Yes, we currently have the Act 168 portal through IU 13 as well. That was an initiative that we brought to the board last year, and that is $5 per applicant. So when an employee applies to the district for employment, they have to complete an Act 168 form, which goes out to any previous employer where they worked with children. And so we have that portal, and it typically is $5 per applicant, but
Okay.
because we're going to bundle, they would drop that to $4.50.
Is that included in the cost on the savings or for the?
So the cost here is specifically for the leave tracker,
Okay.
and then we have the cost for the Act 168.
Right, but that will go down, you're saying?
That will go down, yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
And how much money do you think you'll save by, I know it's time-based, but is there any estimate on that?
We can come up with an estimate. I definitely think
It's
that
just-
you spend several hours between meeting with those employees, walking them through the paper process, sending over the paper process through the website, the emails that we're drafting and sending. When we have 77 leaves, it's not just the employee completing the packet and sending it to us.
I don't need an explanation. No, that's fine. I'll just make sure
So I definitely
you want to
think
justify it. And,
I definitely think it's justified,
but,
but we
you know,
can.
then you'll have more free time to do other things, right? Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
You're saying you work with paper, and then is there any type of program that we could also, that would combine this and the medical? Because you're saying we're still using paper for medical, right?
Right now, we use paper for everything, sabbatical leaves, FMLA leaves, medical leaves. But moving forward, all of our leaves would be in this electronic portal.
Would, but nothing of medical, or medical too?
The medical files, so all employees' medical files are kept separately, and that's an actual paper file that we keep where we house these papers that are completed by the employees who are on leaves. So that paper medical file won't go away right away, but I would like to find a way that we could, because we have electronic personnel files now, we could have electronic medical files.
Right, and there's not like one hub that would be able to give you all of that, as opposed to having all these different things, there isn't.
So records would do that. We just need to work with Power School to see how we can create that from the electronic side in our record system, which records is where we house our personnel files right now.
Oh, so there's a chance that you could have that in Power School?
There is possibly a chance, but we
Okay.
would need to work
Right.
with Power School
Okay.
just to see if it's something that we're able to set up.
That's great.
Yeah.
I would imagine there's being some improvement around that from confidentiality.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're welcome. Thank you.
No more public comments, right?
No more public comments. You're good.
All right, there are no further public comments, so that concludes the personnel meeting. Our next personnel committee meeting is scheduled for October the 13th.
Good evening. We're here for the Facilities Committee meeting. There is no public comment, so moving on to the first agenda item, which is the review of the school bus bid 26108.
Thank you. We went out to bid for one school bus this year, what we put into the current year's budget. It's 148 passenger wheelchair bus. We bid that, the bids were in, I believe, towards the last week or the week before. We received 4 bids for the bus. The lowest bid was from Brightville at $154,019. The second lowest was from Wolfington, $165,595, and then Roar at $169,868, and then One National Distribution, $195,989. So our recommendation is that we award the bid to M.A. Brightville Body Works for $154,019.
I guess I'm assuming our fleet of buses is a mix of Brightville, Wolfington.
It is.
All right.
It is, because as a public entity, we need to take the lowest bid, so it's hard to have a fleet that's all the same.
Yeah, the same thing.
Same thing. We have plenty of Brightvilles, and we have Thomases and so forth, the different kind of buses, so, or different brands. But this one is a Brightville, and it said it's the 48 passenger with the wheelchair.
How do you know it's qualified?
So if it meets the specification that we put out, it's the lowest bid.
Right.
And we built the specifications. The head lead mechanic, Kenny, and Jessica have spent a lot of time developing those specifications for the bus bid.
Nice.
How does the staff look at, is a company that reliable, is it triple rating? I mean, I just don't know that much about a bus. Somebody else agree?
Yeah, I don't want to talk for the mechanics, but, you know, I think the Brightvilles are, I don't hear them saying the Brightvilles are terrible. Please figure out a way to not buy this Brightville, if that's what you're asking. Yeah, we have a lot of Brightvilles in the fleet, so it's not that we're afraid of Brightville.
I guess my question was more like leaning towards, there's no certifications like specific that they need to have to work on these versus a
The
Wolfington like.
mechanic certification?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's where my first thought was, is like if we have a mix of different buses, do they have to have certifications to work on a specific vehicle? If there's nothing that monumentally different between Brightville and Wolfington that would cause them to have like special things, right? We're not, all right.
I believe so.
All right, anybody else with buses? Moving on to, let's just give you all the obsolete items, Siler, the high school, and Bedminster.
And we will put that bus on for approval. And also, just to let you know, they have this bus on the lot, so we will have it within a few weeks of us cutting the purchase order after your voting meeting on the 29th. We actually have the purchase order cut, we're holding it in hopes that you'll approve it, and then we'll release it the next day, so.
That's unusual.
the-
A bus is that?
Yes,
Reinforced, that's
yes,
unusual.
yep, yeah, it's great, because this is actually, we really need another wheelchair bus, so it's well needed, so. It will go right into service immediately. Okay, so obsolete items, Siler Elementary School, we have two lists there, an old wooden desk, that's gonna go to trash, and then some round wooden tables that are old library tables that are no longer used, and no space for them in the classroom, so. Then moving on to the high school, we have some embroidery machines, and some embroidery machine hoops. So one machine, 5 hoops, and they are no longer used and will be gotten rid of. And then down at Bedminster, we have some computer tables, a filing cabinet, an air compressor, and we'll remove those as they're no longer used. And that's all I have for those.
Perfect. So that looks like it wraps up facilities for the evening.
And I'll let you know that ICS will be here next month
Perfect.
with a presentation for the board. The administration will be meeting with them the last week of the month to prepare for that meeting.
Okay.
And they'll be talking about the athletic study that the board approved them to do. And they will also, the athletic study the board asked them to do, and also the capital projects plan.
Perfect. Are they gonna, we have, what was the 360 program? Is that up and running yet? The facilities,
From the project tracking?
yeah, CIS 360 or whatever it was.
So they have populated it so far with some of the data that we have given them, but to my understanding, it is not fully up and running as of yet. I can get an update on that.
All right,
And we can ask that night.
yeah, all right, perfect. Does anybody else have anything facilities-wise? Any public comments? All right, hearing none, the next meeting will be scheduled for Monday, October 13th.
Keep going. You're welcome. Yeah.
Chester yelled,
Oh. Sorry about that. It's our first time with the new mics, so hopefully we'll figure it out.
I had this one on, I've turned this one.
Yeah. Moving right on to the Finance Committee. Any public comment? No, there is not. We will move right along then. First up is a bunch of contracts, and I will turn it over to you.
Okay, starting off this month, we have the Bucks County Energy Unit. This is a renewal of the truancy agreement for the 25-26 year. There is a fee schedule attached, and we only pay for these services as we need them and use them from the IU. So it's nothing that has a specific price tag associated with this contract. They said it's only when needed, if we have a truancy issue and we need their services. But the contract's in place in case we need it.
About how much we spend last year under this, or?
I don't, on the truancy, I don't know that.
Is it easy to find out, or
We can try.
it's under a certain? Just curious how much we spend.
The next contract is the memorandum of understanding for the dual enrollment program at the high school with the Bucks Community College. So this will be for the 25-26 school year, and there's no cost to the school district, and the tuition's paid by the students, but this gives them the opportunity for the dual enrollment.
Is that, when they had that discount, is that fixed into that, or is that still, because I forget the price that was on there.
Yeah. I believe there's a,
It showed the rate, and that included the discount. I saw the number, but
discounted tuition rate, $130 per credit.
Okay. And that's what we agreed on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
For students that might not be affordable?
Do you have anything in place for that?
We do have plans through the grant.
Yeah.
Bucks County Police Officers in the state is working through what that looks like. So we are getting the economic and going through the launch.
Wonderful. Good, thank you.
Good prices to start with as well. Their credit prices are good.
Yeah, it is very low, but still for, like, I imagine how many credits is one course? 3 credits at least?
Yeah. Yeah.
That could be a.
I think it's like $400 a class.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, next contract, Bucks County Intermediate Unit. This is the Sentinel One license. This is actually a correction from the contract that was approved by the board back in May. This just changes the start date for the software. The original contract was July 1st, but we actually started with the software May 1st. This contract document just fixes that from July to May. There's no change in the cost, it's just a date change. And the software is already in place and working in the district, so. Okay? All right, next one is Trans Bridge Lines. This is for North Middle School field trip to New York City in December of this year. Cost is $4,200, $18.68. It's parent and student paid. And this was for the 8th grade chorus students. That's what this.
Two buses, right? Is it two?
Yes, 2 buses,
Okay, we
sorry.
got that.
Yep. Yep. Next contract is Jumping Jubilee, Bounce Rentals for South Middle School for October 10th. And the cost is $2,659.70, and that is student paid. Next contract is a MOU with Special Olympics for 25-26. And then within this MOU, the district is agreeing to pilot a unified strength and conditioning program. So that's new, a new program for our Special Olympics unified sports teams. We have had the unified track and field and the unified bocce. So this is adding the unified strength and conditioning program to that. So
When would that start then?
it'll be starting this year. I don't know specific dates, but it
Yeah.
will start this year.
Great.
Yeah. As far as I know, it starts, yeah. Okay? So expansion of that program is always great. The next contract, letter G, is Karen Education Alliance Agreement Partnership. This is for the Penridge School District Mental Health Evening on September 30th. This is no cost, this is just documentation for those folks to be here to be part of that program with us at no cost to the district. The next contract is a new contract with a new doctor for our review of our student IEPs for health-related services. We previously had a doctor in place for a very long period of time. He retired and is no longer able to do it. He was the doctor that both Penridge and the intermediate unit used, and we both started searching for a doctor to replace. We reached out to the hospital, and those folks at the hospital put us in touch with Dr. Daniel Eggleston. He has agreed to do the review of the IEPs for the medical access program. And his cost will be $200 an hour. And just for comparison, last year our doctor spent 6 hours doing this work. But these documents have to be reviewed, they have to be signed off by the doctor in order for the district to receive the access funding for the medical services. So if we don't have a doctor in place and don't have these approved, we will lose our access funding for these students, for their medical services. So very important that we get a doctor in place. And
Well,
and
thanks for
you-
letting us know how many hours are used, that makes sense.
Yeah.
When you're going from 175 to 200, that jumps out at you, but not
Yes,
if
and
you're
they
using
asked.
6 hours.
Yeah, our previous doctors was at 175 for as long as I've been here, and they said, could we, that's just not a very good rate for doctors. So we said we would ask the board to change it to $200 an hour. So. Okay, and this is really one where we need to get moving on this with this doctor as soon as possible, so. Yes, absolutely, be on the board agenda.
Okay.
And the last contract I have is a revision contract for US Omni and TSA compliance service. This is the First Amendment to the Plan Administration Agreement and Fee Schedule, which was board approved back in August 26th of 2013. The fee that was charged, this is the fees charged to the investment providers, and it's changing to $27 annually effective September 2025, and then $30 annually effective July 1st, 2028. Their current fee is $24. It hasn't changed since they started this over 12 years ago. And this is no cost to the district. This company is our third-party administrator for our 403B, 457 plans. This company we have to have a third-party administrator to make sure that the district's plans are in compliance with all federal laws regarding 403Bs, 457s. It's a requirement to have a third-party administrator. So this is the company that was put in place back in 2013. They do wonderful work. They have been running our programs for multiple years, and this is the first time that they've put forward an increase in their fees. These fees are charged to the actual investment providers. So if my investment company is ABC Investment Company, ABC Investment Company is charged this fee, and it's for the third-party administration of the program. So it's not charged to the district at all. We have no cost in this contract at all, but we have to sign off on the change in the contract. That's why it's in front of you, because the master contract changes, and it has been $24 in there for 12, 13 years. So, okay.
The cost is borne by the 401(3) part. I mean, it's an annual fee type of thing, or?
Correct.
Okay.
It's borne by the investment company.
Which is going back to the person.
Yes.
So, okay. That seems to be a small increase since 2013.
Correct. From 2013. Is a little, okay.
And then the update on the 2023 property tax rebate program?
Yes. To give you an update on the program that we ran last year, 24-25, which would have been for the 2023 tax rebate. So people pay their taxes in 2023. They can file for their state rebate in calendar year 2024, as you do your taxes the year after they're paid. And then for us, our year starts fiscal year, so it's 24-25. So it's July 1st to June 30th, 24-25. So in that particular year, our total cost went up to $41,855 from the previous year, which was $21,338. There's two reasons for that. Our number of rebates went up to 366 rebates from 263 rebates. And the other part of that is that our plan, the way our plan is written, is written as a percentage of what the state amounts are. Our rebates is 25% of what the state's rebate is. And last year, the state increased their rebates. So ours automatically changed. So those are the two reasons for the change. We got 100 more people that applied to get a rebate, and that the rates changed based on the state. So for the 4 years previously, you can see we were right around $21,000, $22,000, and it jumped last year to $41,000 for those two reasons. And you can see a breakdown of the 366, 272 were at the lowest rate, 35 were at the second rate, 48 at the third rate, and then 11 at the highest rate of of $250. So, and it's got,
What are the qualifications to get a rebate?
yeah, so the qualifications are basically your earnings, how much you earn, or if you're disabled. And what we do, and we're very similar to the other districts in the area that run this type of program. We piggyback on the state program. So basically what we say is if you're a Penn Ridge resident and you apply for the state rebate, and the state approves you and gives you the rebate, then if you turn in the documentation that we want, we automatically approve you for the rebate. So we piggyback on their approval, the state's approval. Mhm. That's it.
Any other questions or an early night for some?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. The next Finance Committee meeting is scheduled for Monday, October 13th, 2025.